Welcome back to the channel, folks. We have got a review tonight. I'm looking at the HydroPack water storage system and filtration system. It's a great little ecosystem of products that covers from bladders, water storage, bottles, crushable bottles, and filtration system as well. If you've invested in things like Camelbacks and other things, some of these things do cross over. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of really simple to use water filtration systems, and I always filter my water. I've had a lot of bad experiences when I wasn't, so I always do it now. I'll go through the actual product lineup and then some of the ways that I've been using it. I own some of this gear and some of it is on lend to me. This is in any way, shape or form a sponsored post. This is just great products that I use myself and I want to share, that hopefully you guys can get something out of it too. It might change up the way you're thinking, because there's been a lot of big technological advances in some of this stuff. They've really shrunk down some of these filters now, and they've got really good flow rates, so you're not really fighting against those micron filters anymore like we used to. So, alright, let's start down at the bladder end, the most simple form. We've all had bladders that go into our backpacks. They're pretty run-of-the-mill, the dime a dozen, they're everywhere, but HydroPack have really come out with a system that it does stand out above the crowd. If you've ever had one fail, it lets your whole trip down. All your stuff in your pack gets wet. They've got a pretty famous video that they fill these up with water, run them over with a car, and instead of just splitting open at the seams, there's a bit of movement in this fabric so they can balloon out and they retain their shape. They've got a little quick release connector down here. They come with an insulated tube, and they are really a premium bladder, in the sense you're going to get a lot of lifetime out of them, you know, BPA, PVA free, all that kind of stuff that they all do these days. But the thing that really sets these apart that I find is handy, instead of those failure points like on those screw open ones and whatnot, they just have a slide open, it's a simple fold, and it's that scoop design where you can open that up and then scoop it up to fill it up in the water. But it also means you can turn them inside out and they're dishwasher safe. So if you are using Hydrolite or something like that as an additive, you can easily wash them. And while I'm on washing, just quickly, if you haven't seen Bottle Bright before, that's a great little product. It's like a Barocca, like an Evanescence thing you put in and it fizzes up. But with the things that have got bladders inside them or you can't get into, this one's pretty easy to clean because you can turn it inside out. But some of the other ones with baffles, you can't get your hand inside. So if you haven't seen them before, that's a great little product. They're inexpensive and it's a good way to just clean. It gets all up into the tubes and everything as well. So that's something to keep an eye out for as well. The HydroPack bladders in the hanging style like this come in various sizes, you know, 3 to 1.5. I've got a 2 and a 3 here, but honestly, they're almost the same physical size. This one's just obviously a little bit wider, but for what it's worth, I reckon just go to 3, and then, you know, you don't always have to fill it right up, right? You've got the reserve if you need it. You can just drop it down to 2. So for me, that's a no-brainer. Now, all of these systems that are using this connector here, this style connector, can be switched out throughout the system. So I'll get into the caps and how that works in a second. But they do make, you've probably seen this if you watch some of my other videos, the little pumps. So you've got a standard bite valve that you'll just draw as you want it. But they do make this that connects in, and it connects into everything as well. It's a bit like a bilge pump on a boat and on an outboard, and you just squeeze it and you'll get really good draw. So if you say get something in your eye, you can flush your eye, you can have a wash with it. If you want to top up someone else's water and you don't want to share their spit, you can give them some water. Give your dog a drink, stuff like that. So that's pretty handy as a transfer of water. I use this a lot. I still really rate this. You can buy this tube kit as an independent add-on as well. So if you've already got the bladder, you can buy this separately. Let's move on to the flux system. So that's the Force bladders. These are the flux bottles. This is a 1 litre flux bottle, 1.5, and then they change a little bit of shape when they go up to a filter line. So these flux bottles, as they are, have a standard cap that just opens and closes, and that's it. Obviously, the good thing about a squishable bottle like this as opposed to a fixed Nalgene bottle, especially as hunters like when we're using it, is as you draw the water, it collapses a bit and it minimises all that sloshing around. So with a Nalgene, if you're kind of half full, it glugs a lot, and if you're trying to be quiet, that's kind of annoying. So with these, as you draw them, because the air comes out with the water, they are a lot quieter, so that's something to factor in. And then you'll see these just come with a standard cap in grey, and as you move up to the Flux Plus, they add in a filter. So this filter comes with it in this setup, and you can buy this again in different variants. That's the 1.5, and then they do a 3. These have just come out. Now, the filter is sold separately, so if you've already invested in one of these, you can just put this filter straight into anything that's got the same size cap on it, so that filter will work with everything. And it's a micron filter that for here in Australia will get out 99.9% of all of your nasties, so really good system. It's flushable. The flow rate on this is better than anything else in its class that I've tried. There's virtually no resistance. You can just squeeze it out and top up other bladders. You can draw from it really easy. This is a great filter that's easy to use. And then the Seekers. So the Seekers 2, 3 and 4 litres come with a standard cap as well, and that can be switched out for the filter. Some of these will have little Hyperlon carry tabs or little molly mounts on them, so that you can mount them onto the pack if you like, instead of inside the pack, which is really handy. Really hard wearing. You can just tell and feel the quality when you're handling this stuff from HydroPack. And then another really nice filter that's just been released is this one, and this is one of the main reasons I wanted to kind of share this with you, because this to me is a game changer for the way I use my bladder system. So coming back to the bladders, this is an inline filter. So when we've got our standard tube or the pump tube, you will just click this in like so, and then that will reattach back to your bladder. And now you can scoop up, river water or dirty water in your bladder and then drink directly in line like so. These inline filters are sold standalone at the moment, and they do come with a backflush connector, so you can backflush them the other way. If you get sediment, stuff like that, you can flush it back out. So really good. I've tried this, and it's coming on my next backpacking trip. I really rate that. So I use a bit of a combination of the bladder system and the little bottle, just so that all my eggs aren't in one basket with water storage. But yeah, you can use these in combination or standalone. Really great product there. If you have bought one of these Seeker models that came out originally, they've just got a fixed cap on them. So what you can do is, as a nice little add-on, you can buy a thing called a plug and play cap, and what that does, it changes the standard cap. When you unscrew this, put this little guy on, it changes this standard cap so that then you can run a hose out of it. So if you've got a camp set up, or you're all sharing out of the same thing, or you're going to do a water pickup or bring it back to camp, you can just plug that in, hang it in a tree or nearby, and you can draw water from it. That leads me into the bigger pack style water storage. So kind of a take on that is, if you're at camp and you're doing water drops, you come right up to 8 litres. This one's a 6 litre, and they've got a little a pack tap push button on there, so you can just hang that up in the tree. And once you move into the bigger storage systems, generally they're going to come with some kind of insulated bag like this. Just keep a bit of sun off it, or keep it frosting over if it's really cold, which is a nice touch. It also protects the bag a fair bit. I use this one on my motorbike when I'm bike packing around. This one here, it's basically got a 3 litre Seeker inside it. It does come already with the plug and play cap. I stick this on the seat behind me. It's got Hyperlon lashing points, and it's a foil padded bag, so the sun, it's not going to warm up your water and make it really nasty in the warmer months, and it's not going to allow it to freeze over on the cold nights either. But then I can just run the hose up and over my shoulder and straight under my helmet and drink out of it, and it's really protected, abrasion proof and all that kind of stuff. So again, you could use this in a pack situation, in those hotter days in particular. This is going to really shine. So different ways, instead of having just the traditional roll bladder, you can use that Seeker system. And then down the front here, this is the Expedition 8 litre. Bit even heavier again in terms of the duty of the fabric on the outside, but it's got these welded Hyperlon slips, so you can lash it or strap it to the pack. Comes with that similar to the Pioneer here in the 6 litre. It comes with that little push push valve there so you can get water in and out straight onto the front. This looks like the plug and play cap, but this does have a bigger diameter on the front there, so this is the only one that won't take the filter direct. But now with the new inline filter, you can just go straight on the front there, run your tap on the front, and away you go. You've got filtration in this system now as well, because of the way that they've built this to kind of back build into all of this system. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I know that was quick and short, but it's just some great little products, and it might change the way that you use your water storage system now. They're lighter, they're really well priced. They seem to, like, I've had these for quite a while now, maybe a couple of years, and putting well over 100 days a year in them. And this is my old one now that's probably 3 years old. It's done like literally hundreds and hundreds of litres, and it's still travelling really well. No leaks anywhere, never had a single drop of water come out. Yeah, it's a great system. So anyway, check them out, HydroPack. They're available in most kind of camping outdoor shops. Stay safe out there, guys. See you on the next one.